Jeremy Bentham once said, "The question is not, can they reason, nor can they talk, but rather, can they suffer?" The obvious and morally sound answer is yes. But the truth of the matter is, in the U.S. alone, over 100 million animals undergo various forms of maiming and abuse in labs every year, generally without painkillers, which are not required by law. Since the 1970s, the number of lab animals in the U.S. has fallen nearly 50%. This shows room for change, but the number of lab animals forced in this barbaric practice should be zero. I believe animal testing should be banned due to scientific advances in technology, the scope and cost of experiments that involve animals, and also for moral reasons. Firstly, a great reduction in the use of animals has come through advances in technology. Donated human cells can be formed into tissues and test tubes. These cells can test new cosmetics, drugs, and other products, and multiple types of cells can be combined to produce a tissue. And because they're donated by humans, the cells are more accurate in determining if the substance is dangerous to us. That's the whole point of these experiments. Tests can be conducted virtually using simulation software, which predicts how certain systems react to different substances. After these tests, people can be injected with microdoses of these medicines and cosmetics, and this usually causes no ill effects or major risk, but it is more reliable and precise, less expensive, and more humane than animal testing ever would be. Not only are there better ways to ensure the safety of various substances and medications, but testing on animals is expensive. Experiments take multiple animals, which each need to be fed, housed, and cared for. Just the sheer numbers makes the process expensive. However, when one takes into account the cost of experiments themselves, the price skyrockets. To further illustrate my point, the Humane Society states that a single pesticide test takes more than 50 experiments and over 12,000 animals, which has a price range in the millions. Finally, animal testing is morally wrong, as well as impractical. Animals can feel pain. This is a scientifically proven, well-known fact. However, every day, animals are forcibly restrained as they're burned, shocked, poisoned, starved, and injected with addictive drugs. Their brains are damaged with electroshock and infected with diseases that they would never normally contract in nature. Animals are submitted to all of this while painkillers aren't even required by law. This doesn't even take account rodents or reptiles, which are not protected under the Animal Welfare Act. Those that have a soul will agree that this is morally and ethically wrong, but they should also agree that this is highly impractical. Animals cannot be exact replicas of humans. Because of this, 92% of experimental drugs that are considered safe and effective after testing on animals fail in human clinical trials due to ineffectiveness and dangerous side effects. Additionally, as I stated before, there are better ways to experiment that do not include animals. For instance, the polio vaccine was actually found by 2 different scientists using 2 different experiments. The scientist that used animal testing was actually less successful than the other, who used human cells and provided more conclusive evidence. The human cell experiment actually went on to win the Nobel Prize for his breakthrough. And this is just one example. For all of these reasons, I believe animal testing should be banned in the United States.